Chapter 8. Wiglaf started chanting, "Con ledge, con." "Blinker," shouted Madame Dragonova. "Shut your trap." Wiglaf stopped mid-chant. "The rest of you lined up over there." Madame Dragonova pointed and waved. "Go on. Shortest in the front, tall ones next. Teachers, in the back row. You know the drill." What was going on? The entire school was now standing with their backs to the wall. "This is Mr. Sketcher," Madame Dragonova said with a nod toward the orange dragon. "He got confused and came a day early for school picture day, but we are just going with it." Relief flooded through Wiglaf. It was only a group shot for school picture day. "Mr. Sketcher draws fast," Madame went on, "but you'll have to hold still or you won't be in the picture. Say more to it." She sat down in a throne-like chair in the center of the group. The three brand-new dragons stood still and smiled with the rest of the essay. At last, Mr. Sketcher looked up from his drawing pad and said, "Done." "Thank you, Mr. Sketcher," Madame Dragonova said, rising. "Those of you whose parents bought the package with individual pictures, stay here. The rest of you go to lunch." "Oh boy!" Angers raced into the castle, with Erica and Wiglaf right behind. When they reached the cafeteria, they discovered they were the only three who hadn't stayed for individual pictures. "That was a close one," said Angers, sitting down at the class 1 table. "I thought they figured out that we are faking it." "I thought so, too, for a minute," said Erica, reaching for the pepper. "But why would they? We do everything the other dragons do. We totally fit in." Wiglaf made himself shovel in a mouthful of slimy whirligati. All at once, he got a funny feeling that he was being watched. He looked up and nearly choked. Towering over their table were Madame Dragonova, Coach Blazer, Professor Scales, Alban Flambe, and Ace Lizard. The huge scaly teachers glared down at them. Wiglaf's flashing crest made Angers and Erica look up too. "Uh-oh," said Angers. "I've just heard some interesting reports from your teachers, slackers," Madame said. "Juma, Coach Blazer says you nearly burned up all the straw guts. Blinky, I hear you don't know the sword sweep." "Our old school was awful," Angers said, shaking his head. "We never learned a thing." "What school was that?" asked Earl. "Dragon School Academy," said Angers. "Very small, not up to speed." Wiglaf admired the way Angers was handling himself. But how long could he keep going before he tripped up? "That one," Professor Scales pointed a claw at Erica, "is a troublemaker." "What's his name?" said Earl, pointing at Wiglaf. "Wasn't hissing sparks. There is something very weird about him." "And Juma, there flies like a 2-year-old, added Ace. Madame Dragonova's plum-colored eyes bulged angrily. "You are not real dragons," she said. "You are imposters." "What?" said Angers. "No, we are dragons. Look, scales, horns, sharp teeth." He grinned. "We will see," said Earl. "We will give you the real dragon test." Wiglaf's crest began flashing at hyperspeed. "Say the last line of this rhyme that every peopling dragon knows," said Professor Scales. "Mary Dragon had a lamb, had a lamb, had a lamb, Mary Dragon had a lamb." The dragon teachers waited. Wiglaf shrugged. Erica looked panic-stricken. Angers took a guess. Its fleece was white as snow. "No," boomed Professor Scales, "for breakfast, lunch, and dinner." Wiglaf swallowed. How could they ever pass this test? Well, said Earl. Try this one." "Twinkle, twinkle, little small star, there was a one that what you are. above but the world so dark. This time Angus shrugged, so did Erica. Wiglaf gave it a try, like a diamond in the park. What? Cried Al. No, it's like a very small dragon spark. Al brought his face down close to Wiglaf's. Who are you? He asked. Call Jelak Wiggy, cried Erica. She clapped her claws over her mouth. Blinky. Viggy? Al's yellow eyes grew wider. Viggy, short for Wiglaf? He grabbed Wiglaf's front leg and began to squeeze. Are you a Wiglaf of Pinvig? It must be magic. They are not dragons. They are dragon slayers, shouted Madame Dragonova. Yow! Wiglaf yelped at Earth's claws dug into his flesh. I've waited and waited for this moment, cried Earl, ever since you slew my wonderful mother, Sitha. I never meant to, cried Wiglaf. You wagged my brother too, said Earl. Another accident, cried Wiglaf. I swear, Earl kept squeezing. This Jelak, he said, is he a wizard? Wiglaf nodded again. So the wizard did a spell and 1, 2, 3, you turned into dragons? Asked Earl. Wiglaf was getting sick of nodding. I knew something was wrong with them, exclaimed Madame Dragonova. Earl was beaming. Wait until my brothers and sisters hear that Wiglaf of Pinvig, the world's worst dragon slayer, is a prisoner at DSA, he cried. I'm going to call them, all 3,682 of them. Oh, what fun we will have when they get here.